Okay, I think we're live.
Yeah, recording timer is going off, so I'm gonna take it as a sign that we are live. Hi, hi.
Oh,
Hello and
you still
welcome.
have your the
Oh yeah, I still have. What was it? I still have my specs. It's the we're approaching the mid or the heavy point or the or the tail end. I don't know when the holiday season begins and ends, but we're in the midst of the holiday season. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and uh, early Happy New Year as well. Cause yeah,
is it
we're
bad
we're
that
running through.
is it bad that I actually assumed that was some sort of like filter, like Discord filter or something like that until you actually touched it?
Oh yeah, I know. This is a legitimate. These are legitimate things, my friend.
I I was like, oh, that's a pretty good filter, and then you touched it. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
that's
I know.
that's
This
not a
is this
filter.
is this is a real thing that is on my face. There is real glitter falling off of this and going into my eyes. But if I ever disappear for any reason, it's because enough glitter has gone in here that I need to wash it out. But hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing like that happens.
Hopefully. So
It would be kind
yeah,
of a bummer to miss out on the on this our final episode of 2021.
2021 was better than last year.
Oh yeah, was it?
It was better than the second half of last year.
I I guess so.
The
I don't know.
first
It gives me a
half,
vibe that maybe this is like this whole year felt like the third part of 2020.
that's true. The first half of last year was significantly better. We could we met in Starbucks.
Now yeah, we've met in person. It was a thing. Yeah, things are
Yeah.
going good all the way up until like the midpoint, or up until maybe like what, a month ago,
Yeah.
and then things started mutating and all, and then uh yeah, things are kind of in a murky place right now. But it's not in a murky place. The fact that Dustin Lance Metzger just followed us. Thank you very much.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the last episode of 2021. Not the last episode ever. Don't worry. We will
We'll
return.
keep
I
tossing
think.
stuff out there. Hopefully.
Yeah, it will happen. I believe.
Yeah. I mean, weirdly enough, you'd think that toward the end of the year there'd be a lot more tech news. Maybe I'm just
No,
looking in the
yeah.
wrong places. I don't know.
Yeah. There were some pretty quiet moments in tech news. I do find that we did have a lot of instances where we didn't really have much to talk about, so that we didn't really see a point in um, bringing up a tech net for like 10 minutes or like 5 minutes of us is like, so this is the thing. It's like, oh yeah, so that's the tech net show. Thank you guys for joining us. But yeah, we still found some. At the very least, throughout the year, we have found some very noteworthy events have still taken place throughout. Uh, I guess that is there anyone you'd like to highlight first and foremost in regards
Mm,
to the tech news of 2021?
I mean, the Epic lawsuit is always a thing.
Ah, yes, the epic lawsuit.
That thing
that
seems to go
that
on
that was a
forever.
saga.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
still a
yeah.
thing.
That is true. It technically ended in a grand finale of a TV continued. uh, that's gonna be an ongoing thing, and I'm guessing in the heart of 2022, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I gotta pick this up.
I I'm getting tired of it, honestly. I
Oh yeah.
I I don't like Epic. I don't like how they did this. But they're right.
They're out of
I
line, but they're right.
yeah. So I'm really trying to find some news, but I I mean there's really nothing new. Not in the past week or so. So yeah, let's keep talking about old stuff. Let's keep talking about the stuff. So Apple released their M1 stuff. I mean, we talked about all of that last week.
Oh yes, we've gone into a great deal about Apple's M1 products, practically throughout the entirety of 20. That's pretty much been all of our major episodes throughout 2021.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
funny thing. I mean, usually we don't talk too much about Apple. Usually,
no,
that's a
yeah,
lie.
you
We do talk a lot.
I was like, do we really not? How much time is it?
Never mind. We do talk about Apple a lot. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's not a technic we if Apple doesn't show up at least in one part of our news subjects. But
we're
yeah, the M1
either
is
doing something that
definitely
we don't like or something that we do.
yeah. Sometimes both. I mean, we're
Oh
just
yeah.
going off of the whole lawsuit thing, and we're talking about the M1 thing. But yeah, regardless of whether or not we do talk about Apple a lot, or if we tend to like somehow avoid them like the plague, I do feel like it's almost impossible to not talk about 2021 without talking about like the sheer amounts of advancements that they've been going on with their ARM M1 products. And I mean that their advancements with the Pro and Max was enough to actually make me throw money at it.
Hmm.
I've
Uh.
felt hesitant about everything else, but that like
So
but
how's it going? You regret your choices?
as of right now, no, not really.
Okay, that's good.
It's
That's
it's been
good.
fine. It's been good.
What have you been using
Uh,
it for?
Same thing as usual. Of course, the occasional web browsing, but mostly to edit like offsite edits for like highlights and all those highlight videos that I haven't bothered to post yet. So yeah. so I don't know if you guys heard there was a firework that went off on somewhere in the distance. But yeah, so just a heads up, if you do want to get more TechNet goodness, we're probably going to be posting some archived highlights throughout this week and next week over on our Instagram and or our Twitter. So, at TechNetShow, if you want to check those out, you can listen to us talk more about Mac products. I believe I also have one where we talk about Costco's rotisserie chicken. That was a good time.
Oh yeah,
So
that was a thing.
yeah, still need to figure out how Costco gets their chicken so large. But
I mean, how do they make their chicken bakes?
that's true. It's Costco's an enigma.
And I
Everything's
feel
bulk
like their
there. I mean
pizza is
everything.
incredibly unique.
It really is. You can't get any experience like it. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Like, it's not the best pizza I've had, but I feel like every other pizza, except for like, your high end pizzas, kind of tastes similar.
No, yeah.
And then there's
They have a
Costco.
very no, yeah. They have a very similar MO to them. Like you can still tell the difference between each of them, but it's like but you're aware you're eating the fast food pizzas versus the what is it? The good like hole in the wall kind stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Costco just comes in with their like, was it like 20-foot diameter pizza where like the slices is like as big as my torso kind of thing, and you're just like,
That's different than everything.
oh, yeah, it's very, it's very, I
Oily.
it is definitely oil. There's a literal like lake of oil. You can like swim across that thing. That's disgusting. I always have to dab it. You gotta get that paper towel and just get rid of that. I can't. My stomach would not survive that level of oil. I do find the crust is um could be wrong. I think it's rubberier than most.
That's true. You're right. You're right. It's rubby. I don't know how to say that word.
Yeah, rubberier.
But
It's a complicated.
in my opinion, it has more flavor than most other crusts,
Does
other than the special crust from like Pizza Hut or Domino's or whatever.
yeah, we have
Talking
to shell out extra
standard
money.
standard crusts here. It I think it tastes better, but you're right. The texture
Yeah,
could
if
be
they can
improved.
improve on that texture, then they got solid runnings there. But at the same time, you're getting a lot of pizza for a really good price. So I
The
guess
only problem
maybe
is
that's
that
another
they
thing.
got rid of the combo pizza.
Got rid of the combo.
You never noticed
That's
that?
so fun. I haven't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't stopped by Costco in kind of a while.
Oh, yeah. Combo's been gone
Uh,
for a while now.
that's kind of a bummer. On the plus side, I've always been. I'm personally more big on the pepperoni anyway. I hope that's still there. It's not just
Yeah, that's
cheese.
still there.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Oh, the only thing I feel like is for certain is that they're going to keep their hot dog combo. Some guy got threatened over that.
Wow.
Yeah, allegedly, I think, unless it's purely anyway. Sorry, Costco aside.
Yeah. Come to the TechNetShow where we talk about groceries.
Yes, welcome to the TechNetShow. We talked Costco, we talked ice cream, we talked. Oh, what else? I swear there's some other food topic that we've talked about that I've tried to make into a highlight and need to now convince people that we are a tech podcast.
I don't know. I mean, one day I'm sure that we could just actually just make ice cream into a tech topic. I'm sure that
I
there's
am
some like
sure.
really high tech ice cream machine out there.
Yeah, I guarantee you, we will dig through. We'll continue. We'll make um we can find a way to get like a filter going that always finds all the news related to ice cream. When we find like the high end tech stuff, we just always incorporate that back into. That'll be the running theme of TechNet 2022, the ice cream saga.
Yeah, just
uh,
don't buy your tech from Costco. That's all I have to say.
yeah,
I swear
fair enough. Fair enough.
that's the only thing at Costco I swear is more expensive.
Uh, it's how they get their money back. It's through their tech and their memberships. It's where all the money's at.
Anyway, we're trying to recap the year here, not sell an ad for Costco.
I'm sure Costco's had their fair share to talk about in 2021, but in the meantime, uh, I believe we were talking about Apple right prior to this. Is there anything more you want to share in regards to like? I believe we're talking about M1, and we've got if you have any more thoughts on their their lawsuit rivalry with Epic.
I feel like Epic's trying to drop the ball. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I remember that the reason why they didn't really push hard on the antitrust is because they couldn't actually gather enough evidence in time. So they kind of
Mm.
just threw everything on the table and not really had a solid argument. I think that they
Uh,
were intending to appeal later on.
yeah. They needed to
Yeah,
just stall us for time for now, and then when when the time came to appeal, what's it? Appeal them, get more evidence. I'm assuming.
I honestly, the entire thing has shown a lot of backroom deals that Apple has made in the past. Kind of tarnished, in my opinion, tarnished like the goodwill that you have for them because everything that
Uh,
is kind of coming to light because of this lawsuit. Um, I mean, quite frankly, this lawsuit was already about them kind of making developers' lives a bit more difficult, but I mean, through the lawsuit, you kind of see like what exactly they do, how they favor other people,
mm,
what they do to really make sure that their competition stays non-competition.
mm,
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much um what I think about it. It just shows you a different side of Apple that you usually don't get to see.
mm. Instead of all of their usual like for the front facing like consumer side stuff, you get to see a lot more of the nitty gritty that especially goes into like the developer side of things, whether it be relation with small time developers or even like their back end deals and whatnot with the larger end and whatnot. Get to see it's really like what's really going on behind the scenes.
And then there's those interesting tidbits of information that you learn, like Apple tried to get into gaming, but then utterly failed.
I, it just didn't quite happen.
Yeah. So yeah, it's that's pretty much what I feel about this lawsuit. It's been very enlightening, and well, hopefully it has a positive outcome for developers.
Yeah. Hopefully it has an outcome for developer.
Yeah. But on the hardware side, honestly, Apple has killed it this year with their M1 processors. Although I do see potential on Intel's side of
Hmm.
actually making a comeback. You've seen. I know that we've talked about Gen 12, right?
I believe we've talked about it a little bit. Um, but at the very least, I can guarantee you that I have indeed heard about what they've done with their 12th gen. I believe that was Alder Lake,
Yeah,
was it?
big little.
Yeah, Big Little.
So Intel has retaken the crown again for single-threaded and multi-threaded performance. Not something that I
The
thought
power
that.
struggle is real.
Not something that I would have thought that Intel would ever be able to catch up on. Well, I knew that they'd be able to catch up. I didn't expect them to defeat in a single generation.
Yeah.
That threw me off. That genuinely threw me off.
Expecting like a couple years thing, they'll catch up, and then AMD's plays catch up, and then and it seems they're
I
going on
didn't
a generational
anticipate this
powers.
to be like sudden.
Future is now. The power struggle is here.
I mean, it has its issues. It sucks power like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think that really shows the potential of Big Little in desktop because what people can't seem to wrap their head around is the fact that smaller cores you could means more performance. If you made a if you made a processor with all little cores, it would have more performance and less wattage than if you had the same performance using a single large core.
Hmm.
But of course, that means that programs need to be optimized properly for multi-threaded workloads. But
Yeah. I
and that's
think
why
we've.
consumer level stuff always has the big cores to them too.
Yeah. Gotta play a little catch up with our multi-thread performance before we go full little core.
Yeah. But I see a lot of potential for this design, and I can't wait to see what Intel has in the future. I have heard that their GPUs are a bit. I haven't heard good things about them lately.
Uh the I'm guessing
Dedicated,
was it
the
oh
dedicated
educated
GPUs.
guess oh dedicated uh yeah. I haven't really been keeping up familiar with their dedicated GPU line. I think I'm still living in the fantasy land of promises of the early promises of the GPU.
I mean, of course, there's still rumors, there's still leaks. So I mean, it's nothing concrete. Maybe I mean, it's too early to really draw conclusions, honestly. But
Until we get like the physical thing to like start getting ourselves some bench scores and real life tests and whatnot.
yeah.
Right now, we're just dealing with numbers being thrown at us.
So there's still potential. I mean, it's still gonna be a first generation product, of course. There's always gonna be problems with that, but yeah, I mean, Intel seems to be making a comeback, even if their first gen GPU flops. It's first gen. If it's anywhere near anything we have right now for a first generation product, that would be a big step forward.
Oh yeah, that would be solid. He said it's always it's first gen. We can't expect perfect out of the first. We just gotta take what they got, work with, keep what's good, improve what's not so good, and we'll see how where they go from second and third. I mean, that's what we saw of the out of the fold from Samsung.
Yeah. So
But
hopefully, we'll get there. Um.
Oh, in the just real quick, I want to shout out and say hey right back to our old friend from earlier. I believe you started showing up earlier this year. No Duckras in the
Oh,
chat.
you're back.
Hello, welcome back, welcome to our the final episode of 2021. If you happen to have um if you do want to comment on any significant tech related news or anything, you want to share about this past year, maybe we can uh, chat on that as well. I just want to let us know how your year's going. How was 2021 for you? That'd be cool too. But sorry, I was interrupting.
Oh, well, not sure what I was gonna say. So, why don't you tell me your highlight?
Ooh, what has been going on this year? Um, so yeah, once again, I'd probably say the biggest thing, or the most hype thing that came out of it was definitely as we already talked about, so I won't expand too much further on like Apple and M1 and their expansion through like M1 Pro and M1 Max. Um, Even got a chance to do some hands-on. It's been solid so far. Um, I will say one thing that I've been following off and on throughout this year with much confusion and a decent amount of disappointment has been all developments regarding around Microsoft or uh, basically everything that's been going on with Windows 11. I'm honestly not
Oh.
sure where to feel about Windows 11 at the moment. I guess it's from the only thing I can tell is, at least from public opinion, it has not broken the Windows roller coaster of releases.
You know what's the biggest problem about Windows?
Oh, that be
Even when they fail, they don't.
yeah.
Let's be honest here. Even though they fail, everyone always says it's the end of Windows. Vista was the end of Windows. Everyone's going to use a Mac.
I I think we've gone through enough generations to assume that that is not the case.
Yep.
Heck,
And
this is
then
not
in
even
the
the end of Fallout 3 somehow. Anyway.
and then in the like the world of Linux, like Windows 8 is like, "Oh, this is going to be the year of the Linux desktop."
uh,
I mean, they're at 1% now. Full full
yeah,
it's full digits.
yeah, it's a full digit, guys. It may not be the domination year, but hey, it's a high year.
Yeah. So that's a problem that I have with Windows. Even there's not really incentive to make a good product. People are just gonna use it.
That's true. They're they'll be like, "Oh, this Windows version is great," and they're gonna stick with it. Or they're like, "Oh, I hate this version of Windows," and they're still gonna stick with it because it's Windows.
The other thing
We're
that
creatures of habit. We're just gonna stick with it what we know.
the thing that bothers me even more is when people don't upgrade because they hate the next OS and they don't decide to switch OSs because they hate it. They just stay on it, which means that there's security vulnerabilities.
Oh yes. Back in my PC repair retail days, I've seen a fair number of Windows 7 machines, which I still encourage to upgrade, but I'm like, okay, it's not as bad. Then a couple machines that have been running XP start popping up out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, I don't know how you're still here. And then the one machine that's still running Windows ME pops up. Is like, how is this still running?
Wait, computer or laptop?
It's a laptop. It's a proper laptop with there's a bunch of parts on the side that I thought were like super hilarious to see.
You know, I
I think there was like one US I think there was still a USB port on that Windows ME machine. Might have been the high end stuff on that, I don't remember. PS2 port, I'm pretty sure there are PS2 ports on the floppy disk drive, probably. I don't know.
I didn't even realize I could fit. Well, I mean, if you could fit a CD-ROM drive, you could probably fit a floppy disk, right?
Probably. It might have been too the driver that was on it might be a little too small. It might be for some other smaller, but I don't know. But I didn't recognize like half the things in it, and I couldn't for the life of me. Yeah, they were having troubles connecting to the internet.
Oh, I
I don't
wonder why.
even. One could only wonder, but
I mean, if you're running ME,
it,
you're pretty much running 98 at that point.
that is very true. I attempt. I've never touched ME or 98 prior to this point, so I have no idea where to
Wait,
even
now that I think
begin
about it,
to
people
look.
didn't necessarily like 98 either.
Was there ever a point in time where people liked Windows?
Well, I know that 95 was a great hit. People
Oh,
loved 95.
was that their magnum opus?
Yes. And then and
Everyone
then
just adopted 95.
98 happened, and then I don't think that people were so thrilled about it. And then ME happened, and I don't think that people were so thrilled about it. People loved
But
XP.
XP.
The
Yeah,
problem
XP
with
was the
Vista
bomb.
was that their minimum requirements weren't high enough.
Uh, so they put it on lower end machines that didn't quite want to run Vista.
Yeah. I I think Vista, if it came out about a year later with higher minimum requirements, would have probably taken off a lot better.
Yeah,
Because don't forget, I mean, 7 is pretty much just a reskinned Vista.
yeah, that's true. Pretty much.
Because, like the biggest changes of Vista was a user access control and the arrow theme.
Yeah. Hasn't that been like Windows' whole story? It's just whatever foundation they started with and just kind of duct tape new stuff onto it and then
It's
give it a
true.
fresh coat of paint. And whatever like thing they like duct tape through Windows 8.
Speaking of the user access control, no, Vistas was so much worse. It popped up for
Uh,
everything.
oh, oh
They
man.
they toned it back in Windows 7.
Oh, that's good.
So apparently everything wanted administrator access.
Everything, and I mean everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, been a wild ride. Any thoughts on 8 point? Do we count 8.1? 8.1 is just
I feel
a bump up.
I have positive feelings about 8 actually. 8 in
Hmm.
general was good to me. I mean, it was a bit weird, but I don't use the start menu like many people do. I usually just press start on keyboard and start typing. That's how I use the
Hmm.
start menu, and it worked for me. So it
They kept that functionality, so I mean, that's why well, I'd say why fix what ain't broke, but I guess some people might have felt that way when they manually clicked on the start menu.
um it was a bit weird. Honestly, it. You know
Yeah, they
what?
tried to
I'll
merge
say
everything
this.
on the.
I'll say this. 8 was a visual design forward. It was a visual design forward. They didn't completely think through that start menu though, and that's the part
Uh,
that pissed people off.
that's fair. So if they kept something familiar in the start menu or made something more intuitive with the start menu, then people could have overlooked the fact that the visuals has evolved into its tiled successor.
Yeah, because Windows 8 looks a lot more like Windows 10 than it does Windows 7.
That's true. They did keep a lot of the visual aspects from 8 and then 8 and then kind of packaged it back into a user interface that's fairly similar to 7 if I recall.
No. So, I mean, I don't think that they messed up too much. They just, well, they just made it too tablet friendly, honestly.
Eh. Diving a little too headfirst into the future of tablet technology and two-in-ones and all that fun stuff.
Okay, is it just
Back
me, or
when
does it seem as if Microsoft always seems to jump into a category too early, and then they get massacred because of it?
eh.
Like, let's talk about the Connect. Let's talk about
Oh,
the
the
Connect for a
Connect.
moment. The Connect itself was great. I remember using it. I remember playing with it. It was amazing. The problem with it was that it had an. Oh no, not that's. I'm not. I'm sorry. There wasn't really anything wrong with the Connect. Let's talk about the Xbox One with
Oh,
Connect.
Oh, the Xbox One has a history.
Let's talk about the Xbox One with Connect. The biggest problem was two big problems, honestly. First of all, they wanted to do digital. That was their big push, digital.
Digital.
And that was too early. No one wanted it. Because you know how
Yeah.
they. I mean, sure, they could have played off that DRM thing a bit better. But now they make game consoles without a disk drive.
True. And they're very appealing.
Exactly, that's my point. It's like that is pretty much what Microsoft was trying to sell you with the Xbox One. Except it's like, you know, the discs are like, okay, you know what? These have licenses attached to the discs that you can only use on your. You know what I'm saying? That's how they were trying to kill the
Oh
used
yeah.
market.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Except they've effectively done that with this one Series S. Sony's
Oh,
done
yeah.
that with a discless version. That was just too early for its time. People didn't accept it yet, but
Oh,
people
yeah.
clearly accept it today.
Yeah. They just can't tell if they've jumped the gun or they're just the ones that wanted to, was it, put the
Oh,
idea out forward and just get murdered by the people who don't want the
and the
change.
other thing about the Xbox One was that always-on microphone for Cortana. Remember how it was like people were like,
Yeah,
"Oh, privacy, privacy, privacy," and it's like, "Oh, Google Home, I
that's
want
fine.
that."
Yeah. Was it Echo, Alexa?
Yeah.
It's fine.
So it's Microsoft seems to always push something forward too early.
Yeah. They jumped the
I
gun,
I don't
or
know why.
they're the initial pioneers of technology that no one wants to adopt yet. But then someone else looks at their idea and like, huh, maybe we can make something out of this. And then they make something, and for some reason, people like that instead.
I don't get it because I believe at the time Microsoft was still known to be a bit better for privacy than Google was.
Uh,
Just just tossing that out there.
Google's its own thing. I wonder if people have just accepted the point that Google has taken enough information of to once again clone us like 20 times over.
So yeah, I think. Well, also I'm on Windows. That's another thing.
Oh yeah,
Too
they
early.
tried.
That was way too early, honestly.
Oh yeah.
What
I was
else
just
did
not
they
until
do?
like a couple years into their cycle that they finally get 60. Did they got into like adapting into 64?
Yeah.
Was that the big issue? Yeah.
Well, the big issue originally was that they had no emulation of support.
Oh. Oh yeah, that's kind of a big
Surface
problem.
RT.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was their first issue. And then the
Yeah.
next issue was 32-bit only.
Oh
And now the
yeah,
issue is 64-bit sucks.
yeah. Oh. So I guess there's some progress. It's just they started really, 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 really low on the totem pole there.
Yeah. And then, you know, tablets, like with Windows 8, that was, as mentioned earlier, that was definitely a bit too early, too.
Yeah, yeah. It's like they see where the future of technology is going, but they want to get there like now
Yeah.
instead of like let's try and like polish this off, make sure everything looks great, and then we'll push it out into the world. or maybe like inch it out to people, like get them familiar with, give them something familiar with the old, but then show them what great things you can do with the new and all that. And but nah, they're just like, nah, here's this new thing, try them. And it's like, try with what? And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to give us a minute on that.
Yeah. I don't understand how Microsoft does it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, Microsoft has done some. Microsoft's a very interesting company to follow through.
Yeah.
Never really know what's gonna come next. Um, oh, if I may do a quick shout out to Take My Word Live. Thank you for following us on Twitch. No
Thank you.
Duckers has also responded. If you want to talk about another bit of news that I believe came out this year, and that is Valve Steam Deck, which No
Oh,
Duckers is looking
yeah.
forward to in 2022.
Yeah, I remember that. Man, that has gone a bit silent recently. I heard that was delayed.
Oh yeah. I mean, isn't that the story of 2021 for like new tech stuff?
Delayed, not in
Delayed
stock.
or you just not in stock? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, okay, I am pretty excited for that. That seems to be a pretty good little device. Decently powered. I mean, we're trying to shoot for 720p on this one, right? That
I think
was
I think so. I think it was. I can see 720p being a good. Was it low bar for that? I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't need to push too many pixels on that small of a screen to get something good going.
yeah.
As long as you're playing a solid game on it.
Yeah, the only thing that I remember one of my concerns was that as next gen games start coming out, maybe the power might start to fall behind a bit.
Hmm.
Because you could definitely see that still targeting like, okay, 720p modern games, but that doesn't take advantage of, I mean, they do have models of that have NVMe storage. I don't think that it's a very fast PCI Gen 4 stuff. Oh, we have someone on the YouTube chat. That's new.
What? YouTube going off too? Wow, everyone,
Ah,
welcome to our on this the final episode of 2021.
how do you say
Wait
that?
it.
Casas the Warlock. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Why do I know that? Why do I know that username?
I think
We know this person, don't we?
I'm pretty sure that
Don't
that sounds
don't
very
deny it.
familiar.
Don't
I
deny
think
it.
I think
Don't
that
deny it, Warlock.
I
I
think that they were
swear
on
I know
Twitch chat
you.
last time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Are you
But
someone we know in person? I swear I know
said
someone who has that
yes.
username.
Yes.
Hmm?
I said
It
yes.
is. Knew it. Well, welcome to the final episode of 2021. Also, on the Twitch side of things, thank you very much for the follow. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, number 15. Amazing, there's 15 of you now. But thank you very much, 15th Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, for following us, and welcome to the last episode
Wait,
of 2021.
15. We're not
Yes.
referring to a certain series of. No, never mind. Too British. I'll
Oh,
be quiet now. Never mind.
a certain series of um uh I don't know how to play on words on that. Never mind. Of
I mean, are they?
undesirable moments.
Are they even up to 15? Then again, I stopped following it after.
Oh, yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay,
I don't know
okay.
what actually goes on to that show. I'm pretty sure I know which title you're talking. I just don't know the content. So apologies. Also, if your name is referencing to said series of, um, was it?
British origins.
Uh, yes. I apologize. That reference has gone way over my head.
See that you're staring at something, Jared.
Yeah.
What has people
Oh,
said?
they're sending emotes.
What?
Dr. Jackie's face. That's
I
actually a pretty good. That's actually a pretty dope emote.
should probably pull up Twitch chat.
Also, I'm Big Hal. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to this, our last episode of 20. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. This is. Nah, you know what? Just for you. Welcome to this, the last episode of 2021. There you go.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Oh, you made it yourself. Oh, that's dope. Also, soup. I like that. And Wubby right. Does he have left too? And then like the two legs, and then like the body. You can make like Exodia out of that. Sorry. Anyway. Sorry.
Downloading chat. Okay.
Yeah. So, uh, oh, they do have the left. It's all coming together. There's a body. We're going full on Frankenstein in the Twitch chat. But in the meantime, uh,
What were we talking about?
I think the last thing I remember is we're going off on the Steam Deck, I believe.
Oh yeah, the Steam Deck, the Steam Deck. Okay. But yeah, it seems like it's a pretty impressive device. I think I said my concerns about it, right?
I believe. So. Oh yeah, we're concerned
Oh
about
yeah, I
like
was talking about
power.
storage. So I remember that the base model had eMMC storage though, and that concerns me for future titles that, might take advantage of direct storage.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, I wonder how Valve is gonna emulate direct storage. DX12 direct storage. Are they even gonna attempt it?
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm sure they're gonna try and do some trickery with their what was their emulation thing? Proton or something? Maybe they'll do a
Yeah.
Proton Plus. I don't know. Neutron. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
Electron.
oh no. That's a
Oh.
completely different framework.
Oh.
You don't
Oh,
want to
that one's
touch
taken.
Electron with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
It's a good thing those ones. Oh.
we are kind of using Electron right now, but Discord.
Oh.
You know what Electron is,
The
right?
electron is coming from inside the stream. What? It sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't recall it off the top of my head.
Oh,
Would you like to, uh, I guess, give a brief description for myself as well as for the lovely people?
Electron is pretty much a Chromium wrapper for a program.
Oh,
It's literally
lovely.
you're writing your code inside of a Chromium.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Okay, so I see that Take My Word Live said that very excited for the Steam Deck, so hopefully there will be more Linux support for anti-cheat systems And actually, that is the reason why I'm incredibly excited for the Steam Deck. It's not really for the Steam Deck itself; it's for what it means for everything else. Um,
Hmm.
Seeing the fact that major anti cheats are already starting to support Proton, that's a huge step forward. But the problem I'm seeing is that there's not many game developers that really want to integrate it. I know that
Hmm.
Bungie with Destiny has not integrated the anti cheat yet, and they have no comment on if they actually are going to do the to enable the flag, because it still is needs to be enabled by the developer in order to make this anti cheat work.
Hmm.
Of course, I don't think that the Master Chief Collection is coming over to Linux anytime soon. As
I'd be very
much
surprised.
as I would want to see that.
No, that
But
would be
yeah,
absolutely lovely. I'd love to play Halo 3 again. This time on Linux.
I really want to see more developers start to kind of optimize their code for Proton, have the anti cheat work with Proton, but at the end of the day, it looks like it's up to up to the developers themselves.
No, yeah. That's always the rough uphill battle for any like new anything new like this. You gotta get the backing. You gotta get the developers on your side. And here's hoping. Fingers crossed. People are willing to adopt, adapt, improvise, overcome. Yeah.
So
We'll see.
let's go with Dr. Jerky, Mr. Hyde. 15. Any thoughts on Neuralink? You were an Elon Musk fan, aren't you? Um,
How can you not
it's
like Elon Musk?
I
I
love
feel like
his
that's a kind
work.
of worms.
I love his work. I think he does sketch stuff though.
You know what? That's
Is
fair.
that fair? I think that's fair. Um, but Neuralink, it's an interesting concept, except I don't see this technology actually happening. So Neuralink is pretty much I think that's the easiest way to explain it is a interface, a direct mind interface for computers, like machines reading your mind to figure out what you want. I I think that's a. I mean, of course, that's not technical or anything, but that's the result.
The lowdown, the end goal.
It just doesn't feel like it's something that's feasible, seeing the fact that we already don't know much about how the brain works. Um, Making that jump into actually being able to control something with your mind, that that's a
Such is life.
that's a pretty large jump for any sort of technology.
Yeah. There's the chance, there's the possibility, but it's as of this point in time, it's gonna be where we gotta make some large advancements in both in our own understanding of how this bundle of neurons and gray matter works, and how said matter can communicate with technology.
I'm
It's a
sure that we
complicated
will
field.
figure out this technology when we get to Mars,
Oh yeah.
or when we nuke Mars. I don't know which one.
Yeah, somewhere in between. I like to believe.
You know where that reference is from, right? That's
I believe
yeah.
so.
Elon said that one of the ways to terraform Mars is literally to.
To
Mm-hmm.
nuke it to oblivion.
Pretty much. Well, not really, because I think that was about normalizing the temperature, making it livable. I mean,
Okay.
you know, the
Not nuke
excess
it to
heat.
oblivion, nuke it to rehabilitation.
Yeah.
What a wild concept. I like it. That would be one way to do it.
Yeah. But it definitely makes him sound like one of those you know those people in the movies that pretty much are always like, I want like that stereotypical evil villain, like from a Marvel movie or a um actually it doesn't sound like a Marvel movie. It definitely sounds more DC than Marvel.
I can see that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe early Marv. I don't know. Austin Power. No.
You're not wrong about that.
Yeah,
It's pretty solid.
it is very solid. Like I see great minds think alike in the chat. Oh, your minds are your mind. The neural link between you two is indeed solid like a rock.
I see that you guys have figured out the Neuralink.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
share with us one day. But in any event,
Is that emoji?
it is Jackie's face.
Interesting. Okay.
Boldly going to chats where no emote has gone before. Actually, literally, I think there's maybe been like one or two other emotes that's ever been in this chat room. So, you know, boldly go where no emote has gone before.
Yeah. We haven't had that many emotes in the past. Honestly, we haven't had this active a chat for a very long time.
Very grateful for you guys for joining us on this. The final. Okay, okay. uh, yeah, greatly appreciated. You know, also thank you for chiming in with the occasional uh tech hype. It's been a fairly busy year, and it's hard. Admittedly, it was kind of hard to get my mind around anything besides Windows 11 and M1 Max. So
Yep. Our next week is looking a bit busier than usual. So
yeah, the holiday
we
season is kicking us hard in this next week. So uh, if anything, you'll probably find us either. What's the first Monday of 2022? The third,
the
maybe
third.
the third.
Yep.
Either the third or the 24th. No, I'm kidding. Most likely January 3rd. Uh, if not, uh, latest I would probably say is the 10th. We may do a surprise one somewhere in the middle of the week. We kind of do that from time to time,
Yeah.
but yeah, you know how it is. Oh yeah, so basically we stream pretty much as our listing has probably notified. We try to stream every Monday, roughly about this time, roughly in these seats. Uh,
Yeah. So we try to start at about 10 or 10:30 Hawaii Standard Time, which is
that would be
uh
12:30 Pacific Standard Time, and I believe that's for all you Eastern Standard Times who can't sleep, about 3 or 3:30 in the morning, I believe.
if any of you are from the East Coast, props for
Oh,
being
big
awake.
respects. Big respects. Almost 5 a.m. for you. Big respects.
Oh my.
That's the Mr. Hyde in you, isn't it? I respect that. I respect the dedication.
My
Also to you,
gosh.
Take My Word Live. We got the early morning crew all up in this chat. I like it. No sleep gang. No sleep gang.
I'm
I should probably also
surprised.
use this time to make note that if we ever do miss a stream, it's probably because I myself have failed the no sleep gang. So just gotta throw that one out there. That's kind of unfortunately how it goes. But
I remember a
yeah,
few
if anything,
times I called Jerry. I was like, "Oh, I'll be home in a few minutes." Call him back like a few minutes later. He's not answering.
yeah, we've actually had yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Jekyll and Hyde. But yeah, I know. There was one either it was TechNet or on our sister channel, Quick Start Gaming. If you ever want to check that out, we're usually Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, somewhere on there. But essentially, I was actually awake long enough to actually get a call from him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be on in like 5 minutes." He's like, "All right, cool." And I'm like, "All right, 5 minutes. I should probably not lie down in the next 5 minutes." 5 seconds later, I lie down, and the next thing I know, it's the morning. uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, you do a comedy. Take My Word Live
Huh.
does a comedy podcast for work in IT, so this is nice to stumble upon. Ah, that's cool. Um,
We have
I
similar
should
lines of
definitely
work
check.
here, I see.
Yeah, I like that.
How long have we been
Comedy and
streaming?
IT.
About, I want to say a year and a
If we're
half.
talking about TechNet specifically or this channel, I believe. Oh no, the first time we've ever been in front of a camera, like the first time we've recorded something for this channel was September of 2020. And I
Oh,
believe one of the first topics we ever talked about was the 30 series graphics cards.
all
Because I
right.
remember making that thumbnail. Um, and what I find ironic about it is that I ever since the first episode, I still have not been able to get my hands on one. Anyway, but so yeah, that's the first September 2020 was the first time we've ever actually made something public on YouTube. I can't remember for the life of me like how much long afterwards it was when we started streaming.
Yeah, we found out very quickly that doing pre-recorded stuff was not working for us.
Editing
Um,
takes some time.
Editing takes time. We realize that when we think that we can have a do-over, we take the do-over.
That is true. Sometimes
So
it's good to just trial by fire it, just see where it goes, and I think we got some pretty good progress out of it.
yeah, going live has definitely taught us how to figure out how to keep talking.
Yeah, keep up on the fly. Yeah, editing is the worst. Why stream it up to YouTube? No, yeah.
I like
Uh,
editing, but in short bursts. That's why I didn't mind doing his Pokemon Go videos.
yeah. So in case you're also interested, I have excuse me. Before I die over here, I actually do have
He used
another.
to have no, just kidding,
Yeah.
just kidding.
I swear it still exists. If I start a video, I can't stop till it's finished. I feel that. I feel that I'm Big Hal. I know, right? It's like I want to keep editing this video, but it's like, I might get to your guys' time. It's like 5 in the morning. The sun's starting to rise, and I have work in like I need to have left an hour ago. but yeah, what is it?
The best
Oh
part about
right,
living in
shameless plug.
Hawaii is that getting 20 miles away from our houses takes 2 hours in the morning.
Oh yes, rush hour traffic is lovely. I now have to. I have started dealing with that about 2 or 3 months ago, and that is legitimately the worst thing that has happened to me.
Okay,
But
go
yeah,
with your
it
shameless plug.
literally drives me nuts. Sorry. um, Yeah, so shameless plug. Besides TechNet and besides Quick Start Gaming, which him and I we play some of the video games of Quick Start Gaming, primarily Halo, but we may branch out. I have been running a uh previously Pokemon Go has branched out to a Nintendo channel known as Voyaging Trainer. If you do ever want to catch us live on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Voyaging Trainer. Just look for orange logo. You won't miss it. But for the most part, I usually do stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. However, Tuesday and Thursday will probably be the last streams, or this Tuesday and this Thursday will be the last streams of 2021 because, again, holiday season getting kind of rough. But yeah, if you ever do check out the YouTube page, though, we do have a good chunk of edited Pokemon Go like vlog style videos. Some of them are, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, most of them. Harrison, this guy to the side of me, has pretty much edited the bulk of those. I did do a little bit near the end when it was purely like community day focused. Definitely, I will say I definitely had a lot of fun doing the Pokemon Go footage and messing around with like editing and transitioning and all that. But uh, yeah, that takes that takes time. And they tend not to perform all too well when compared to when I did news videos for Pokemon Go, which takes like you just sometimes it's just literally just like cut all the footage into one thing, and then apparently that one of which is actually my like most viewed video of all time. So I don't know how to feel about that. But yeah, if you ever want to check it out.
It's better than Galarian Wheezing.
Galarian Wheezing. So yeah, I made a last minute video covering Galarian Wheezing. It was like a minute and a half, and I'm pretty sure no views have happened on that video since the time of this talk. So I mean, there's no real sense in checking it out now. The event is like long gone, but yeah.
If you want to see the worst performing video on his channel.
Yeah, if you ever want to check it out and boost it from the worst performing to like something better, yeah, you can check it out. Voyaging Trainer, both on YouTube and where I guess my feed is currently at on Twitch. Yeah, and I guess to kind of also, was it? I think that channel is going on 2.5 years now. So, yeah. I don't know. I just wanted to shoehorn that back into the, I guess the older question about how long we've been streaming. So, so yeah, Voyaging Trainer, Quick Start Gaming, and right here on TechNetShow is where you can find us. We're also all over we're all over the Twitters and the Instagrams. I can't say all over the social medias because I'm sure there's some I'm missing. Facebook probably. Anyway.
Well, I mean, Instagram's close enough.
Same.
It's owned by Meta.
Same Meta. Yeah, same Meta. Any thought on any? Speaking of Meta, any thoughts on the Meta branding and the metaverse and? We do.
I thought
we do not talk about the Tumblr page. We do not talk about the Tumblr page.
That's how it died when Verizon bought it.
Oh, Tumblr. Yeah, Tumblr. If it's any consolation to Tumblr, I still see like some of the most hilarious comments out of Tumblr. Ironically, though, off of like Instagram feeds and like Twitter pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well,
It's kind of ironic about social media stuff. Like if something's funny off one platform, you start seeing it on the other platforms, and then that it gets vice versa.
Well, my thoughts on Meta. I think that kind of shows where Facebook really believes the industry is going to go, and that's into AR and VR stuff.
Hmm.
And I would like to believe that if a company that large believes in a technology, it's going to happen. I would like to believe
But
that.
is it because
Except,
it's Meta?
I think it's cool. Except, I don't know if I like the aspect of it being Facebook. That's.
So if anyone else was spearheading, if any other large company was spearheading the Meta VR AR movement, you'd be like, oh, okay, I can see this, but we're we're how about that Meta can't get the Meta tag on Instagram because the biker gang already has the
That's a good
handle.
one. That's a
That is
really good one. That's
fantastic.
hilarious. I'm
It's
I'm
great.
surprised that they don't just they didn't just pull it. I
Yeah, you
mean,
just want to take it or buy it off their hands or something.
I didn't know about that. That's pretty funny.
That is hilarious.
Oh,
Oh man, I'll check that
YouTube
later.
chat. Take my word live said how about that Meta can't get the Meta tag on Instagram because a biker gang already has the handle.
They won't sell it to him. Oh, that's even better.
I mean, technically, do it even need to sell it? Because technically, I mean, wouldn't it be part of the terms of service of Instagram?
I'm sure it's in there somewhere, but I feel like that's gonna be a big, could potentially lead to a big PR mess. I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair. Probably.
And I think Facebook has had enough PR messes for one lifetime.
Oh yeah. I mean I'm pretty sure that
They
technically
just
couldn't Instagram just kind of take it down.
they just wake up one morning and find out their social handle has been changed to Meta Biker Gang, and all of a sudden,
Yeah,
at Meta is now
because of.
Facebook and Instagram.
But yeah, that would probably be a
Don't deny
PR
they have the
nightmare.
power. Yeah, they give too much leverage to that biker gang.
Terms of service, they're
Terms of service.
they're very weird.
Yeah, and be careful with what's in those things. They're long and wordy, but they're long and wordy for a reason sometimes.
And that is exactly what I mean. Take my word.
Yes, the Facebook empire brought down by the biker gang. The
That,
straw
that
that broke the straw that broke the straw that broke the Zuckerberg's back. The Meta biker gang.
that sounds like something straight out of GTA.
Oh
Just
yeah,
throwing that
absolutely.
out there. That sounds like.
Yeah, probably experienced this exact storyline in a VR copy of GTA. Anyway,
That would be something that I would want to play.
VR GTA.
I don't know why. That sounds pretty fun.
That
I
would be
mean,
pretty
it's
wild.
because there's like a bit of everything in that game.
Hmm, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as was it figure out how to get around like the traditional like motion sickness and how like movement and everything works around, should be okay.
Okay. Yeah. You have anything more to say? Any more news?
I
You remember?
think that's everything off the top of my head in terms of news in general. Um, Yeah, the only other thing I can think of is hmm, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Looking forward to that VR. Love you, I love you, Colonel Sanders. That's potential game of the year right there.
Oh, oh yeah, we talked about game of the year last time. I
Oh yeah,
think.
we went into the Game Awards 2021. Metroid Dread won something. I'm so happy about that. We'll not get over that one.
The two things that you said specifically, you have not seen anywhere else on this list.
And surprise, surprise, they're both. I believe Metroid Dread and Resident Evil Village. Seen maybe like once or twice while we were going through like the smaller categories, like was it like best music, best action adventure game, and all that. Um, and was it? And one of the comments I made, I think, after seeing Metroid Dread win is like, "Oh, I haven't seen it anywhere else in this thing. I don't know if I'm actually going to see Metroid Dread or Resident Evil Village anywhere else on this list." And lo and behold, the final and biggest category of Game of the Year, and both of them are nominees. And I'm just like, well, I mean, if you're going to show up somewhere else on the list, I guess it's got to be Game of the Year. Uh,
But it takes two one, and it's a solid game.
yeah, sounds like solid stuff.
Yeah. Huh. Is that really all we had this year?
I'm sure there's more news that we covered, but I guess it wasn't really anything. Um, I know we've covered a decent number of Apple events. We have covered the Windows 11 launch, which we already talked about. Um, well, I guess we also talked about the Apple stuff for the most part. Uh, Epic and Apple and their whole card battle, which we'll see part. What would that be? Part 3 or 4, I think, in 2022. Yeah. uh, oh, and the Steam Deck. We talked a little bit about the Steam Deck, and we even got into a little bit of meta, which I actually think we didn't like dedicate a
Talked about
segment
it.
to like previously.
Yeah, we talked about it though. I remember us wondering why they wanted to change their name so late in the game.
Oh yeah, yeah. uh, yeah, I think that's all the main news that we've recapped over 2021. Is there anything, I guess, um, maybe tech wise or even channel wise you're looking forward to as we dive into the 222s, the 2022?
Yeah, I am looking forward to being a bit more consistent on this one.
Oh yes, New Year's resolution. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's
I
be more
am
consistent
I
on
am
this.
going I am going to down an energy drink every time. I'm probably gonna
Oh,
shut down even
that's.
harder by the like halfway through the stream. I'm just gonna be like, and another thing.
I'd
But
be
yeah.
like, Sharon, are are you there?
Well, it seems I'm down. It's your turn. Go monologue. Monologue the rest of the hour show. One thing I've noticed that we've gotten a lot better as we've gotten a lot better at actually having like fairly long, um like fairly good sized TechNet shows now.
Oh,
Like I think initially we were like going through like several like tech news, and we usually go about 30 to 40 minutes, and then we kind of jump over to quick start gaming, play like a quick match or two. But we're
right,
actually
right.
able to like talk it out, like pad out, not just pad, but we have enough to say on like our one or two conversations to go like this hour and a half
Yeah, until
conversations. So
there's
we're
like
like,
nothing to talk about.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I remember there was I forget what the news was one time, but we had like three or four topics, but we brushed through that in like 20 minutes, and we're like,
It's like
I didn't know what I don't know what else to
I
add to
don't know what
this.
to say about it. I'm like, these are big topics, but I don't know anything about this, nor do I
I know
care.
very little. Yeah, I know very little, and my opinion is uh yeah, my opinion is very waning. Will I add overlays for like, follow, notifications? Um, this channel and quick start. Need to populate. I know at least for sure the about page. I need to actually link out our social media, so I'm gonna keep talking about it. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, adding
it's
overlays is a pretty good idea. It's not a bad
yeah,
idea.
it's a work in progress. I promise. I'm Big Hal. Which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but thank you very much for the follow like 22 minutes ago. Apologies if I never found a way to thank you earlier, but but yeah, overlays and whatnot. Um, I wouldn't mind actually trying to work on that during, if I can find any windows during our little like holiday break before the next year. Um, so that way, when we come back and we come back consistently as of New Year's resolution, we'll actually have a more full fledged channel to come back to.
Yeah,
Get all the bells and whistles working. Maybe not a literal stream elements makes it really. Oh yeah, I've been looking into stream elements. It seems interesting. We'll see how it goes. I just got back to figuring out good old fashioned OBS, so stream elements and Streamlabs both really easy to set up. Maybe like 15 minutes. Yeah, I have done
speaking of which, that was
Streamlabs for a little bit.
another thing use piece that we talked about this year. Completely forgot
Yeah.
about that one.
In in our defense, that was probably like, I think, the most one of the most recent things that we talked about besides the Game Awards, and that is was it Streamlabs whole thing with OBS? Yeah.
Yeah.
Streamlabs pretty much snagging OBS and just like, hey, Streamlabs just coming up to like, hey, can we like, I know we're using like a lot of your like components and stuff like your open source stuff into our stuff, and you were cool with that. Can we also use like part of your name into ours? And then like, no, I'd rather you not. It's like, oh, okay, puts in OBS anyway. And like,
Oh, well, that was unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it sounds like they try to hash this out privately, but it's obvious. I guess it was the last straw. OBS is brought to the court of public opinion, and
Public has spoken.
I think, yep, the court has spoken. So yeah, hence the reason why well, it's not the main reason, or it's not the biggest reason, but it's one of the reasons why I've decided to make my home back into classic OBS. But I did see a lot of in comments
Don't say
saying this.
classic OBS because classic OBS is a completely different version of OBS.
Oh, never mind. I've gone back into OBS Studio.
Because I
Sorry.
remember when they used to have classic OBS and OBS Studio. They
No,
had
yeah.
both before.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry. To clear everything up, I'm currently back in OBS Studio, but I will be looking into Stream Elements a little bit more just to see what that whole story is about. Yeah, I may use some of the widgets and overlays that Stream Elements provides. It does sound like it's a good. Um, it has a good chance of being really good. Yeah, widgets and overlays to check on there. So, uh, hopefully I'll be able to do that over the course of our little holiday break. But I mean, we have a holiday break for a reason. I can't promise anything, but it's it's the stretch goal before 2022. Yeah, I guess that's one thing I can look forward to going into next year. Fully fledging out these channels. Uh, yeah. yeah, besides that, I know there's some other things that we do want to um do with like TechNetShow content besides purely streaming weekly on Mondays. Um I think this one might actually be kind of a nice one to practice trying to see if we can clip them down, if anything, because we kind of sort of break it apart. Uh, you're juggling street streams, impressive as it is. Thank you very much. I've never been more tired. uh, but yeah. Um, I'm probably gonna experiment more with like general like videos on YouTube. Probably clipping this up a little bit more. So if you want to see like our specific take on the Steam Deck, you can watch that. Or if you want to hear me ramble about clipping stuff, we can make a clip on that if we really wanted to. And um, may also look into figuring out how we can get the audio portion, our voices, into pure podcast form
Oh
so you
yeah, that was
can
actually one of the
take it
biggest
with us.
ones.
Yeah, so you can take us with you on the go to listen to your daily commute, because I know for sure I will be able to listen to this full podcast and then some on my daily commute to work. So that'll probably be our fully fleshing out the streams and making sure we're consistent on top priority. Very close third. Get this thing and get our voices into a podcast.
Yeah. Honestly, I
Onto
think that's one of
audio.
the bigger things, though, because quite frankly, this is essentially a podcast. You don't need the video attached to it to enjoy it.
That's true. Yeah, the
That
only
was actually a
thing.
platform that
Yeah,
I was looking into.
yeah, same. Looking into think that's how you upload your podcast. I know yeah, one of the podcasts I follow sometimes advertises Anchor off of them. So I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. So we may I guess it sounds like that's definitely on on both of our radars.
Yeah.
So that's a plus side there. Um but yeah, so look forward to the audio version of this. The only thing you'll miss out on with the audio instead of the video version is if we do something random like where glitter coated glasses over our face where the glitter is increasingly falling into my eyes.
Where did you even get that?
Oh, recently had a work Christmas party this past Saturday, so they were passing out all these different kind glasses. So yeah, mine is still very much intact. Uh, kind of surfaced my face, and I figured, we're still in the holiday season. I might I might as well indulge while I still have a chance. Maybe if I still have the maxes, maybe it'll come out next year too. I don't know. Maybe we'll get better ones. We'll see.
Yep.
So yeah, look forward to the TechNet Show podcast sometime, sometime in the future. Yeah, I
I'm
guess.
starting to feel like we're running out of things to talk about at this point.
I think we've covered a good. I think we've covered as much bases as we can with 2021. Um, yeah, and yeah, got a couple plans going into 2022 that you can look forward to. Um, we'll get the overlays working so I can say like if you ever do want to follow us, you know, get on what's happening with like stream schedules, or even if we're doing developments with like the podcast or any other developments with the TechNet Show, you can always follow us on our social medias. Both Twitter and Instagram is at TechNet Show. So you can pretty much copy and paste our lovely little channel title and
Yeah.
yourself you get yourself onto those platforms. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, be sure to I think you can like a stream
Likes.
initially.
Yep. Like,
You can
subscribe.
like, subscribe, Got that notification as well, I believe. So if you want to keep up to date as to when we start streaming, if we're like running a few minutes late, or if we happen to spontaneously stream on a Wednesday, then you'll be notified of that.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're on Twitch, be sure to give us a follow. Much like and much thank yous to Dustin Lance, Take My Word Live, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde 15, and I'm Big Howl. Once again, thank you guys very much for the follow.
Speaking of Wednesday, don't forget to check out our sister channel, Quick Start Gaming, if you guys like watching gaming content. I mean,
oh yes,
yeah.
Yep. Wednesday, Quick Start Gaming. Tuesday and Thursday, Voyaging Trainer as well. If you're into some Nintendo goodness, hopefully I'll actually be awake to stream on those days. So,
yeah, I think that is it. So you already did the ending, so I don't even know what to say anymore.
I guess with that, if you know, I guess with all of that, I guess we'll see you guys in either on Quick Start Training, Voyage Trainer, or at the very least in 2022. See you.
Bye.